exercise can create a completely different kind of arm development, but almost no one is doing it. And if you look at calisthenics athletes who train them, their arms look different. Commando pull-ups stress your muscles in a different way, changing how your biceps, forearms, and even brachialis grow over time. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why Commando pull-ups build crazy arms, and how you can train them so you can build thicker, stronger arms without relying on endless curls. Common problem. The problem is that most people train their arms in only one direction. Standard curls keep your hands in a fixed position, your torso stays stable, and the resistance curve barely changes. Over time, your body adapts to that exact movement pattern, and growth starts slowing down. Your arms might get bigger, but they don't develop that dense, thick look that calisthenics athletes often have. Commando pull-ups are different because your body is forced to pull from an offset position. One arm is slightly higher, the torso rotates, and your grip has to fight for stability during every rep. That changes how force is distributed through the arms. Your brachialis and brachioradialis suddenly become much more involved. These muscles sit underneath and around the biceps, and when they grow, they make the entire arm look thicker from every angle. Your forearms also have to work far harder to stabilize your body on the bar, especially when fatigue kicks in. And unlike curls, Commando pull-ups force all of these muscles to work together while producing real pulling strength. That combination of tension, instability, and high effort is what gives the exercise its unique effect. But there's another reason this movement works so well. If you watch athletes who are insanely strong at pull-ups, you'll notice something interesting. They don't just train movements that look impressive. They train movements that overload weak links. That's exactly what Commando pull-ups do. They expose weaknesses in grip strength, arm endurance, and stability all at once. Because once your body adapts to that kind of pulling demand, normal pull-ups start feeling easier. Your arms start handling more tension, and your pulling strength explodes. But none of that matters if you train them incorrectly, because most people turn Commando pull-ups into awkward half reps with zero control. So let's fix that. Step 1. Do them correctly. Most people completely ruin Commando pull-ups before the set even starts. They twist aggressively, swing their legs everywhere, and basically turn the movement into survival instead of controlled tension. And when that happens, the muscles that are supposed to grow the most never receive consistent load. The setup matters a lot more than people think. Grab the bar with one hand slightly in front of the other, then pull your body up beside the bar instead of directly under it. Your torso should rotate naturally, but only slightly. You don't want excessive twisting, you want control. The magic of Commando pull-ups comes from tension, especially during the eccentric or lowering phase. Lower yourself slowly while resisting rotation and keeping your forearms, biceps, and grip tight the entire time. Also, and this is important, make sure to alternate sides evenly. If one hand always stays on top, you'll eventually create imbalances in strength and muscle development. Done correctly, Commando pull-ups feel brutally compact. Your arms, grip, forearms, and upper back all light up at once. And that's exactly what makes the exercise so powerful for building thicker arms. But even perfect form alone won't build thick arms if your muscles aren't exposed to enough quality tension consistently. Step 2. Volume and frequency. Doing a few random sets of Commando pull-ups once a week is not enough to build noticeably thicker arms. The reason calisthenics athletes develop that dense upper body look is because their muscles are exposed to tension repeatedly over time. And Commando pull-ups are one of those exercises where repetition don't just build muscle, but also stability and control. The more often you practice the movement, the better your body becomes at producing force through the arms instead of just surviving the exercise. For most people, training them around 2 to 3 times per week works extremely well. That's enough frequency to drive adaptation without completely frying your elbows and forearms. And when it comes to volume, more is not always better. A lot of people make the mistake of turning bodyweight training into cardio. They chase endless reps, lose tension, and start swinging just to keep going. Instead, focus on quality sets. Around 2 to 3 sets per session in the 6 to 12 rep range is usually the sweet spot for building strength and thickness. The reps should feel controlled, difficult, and close to failure, not rushed. Because at the end of the day, muscle growth comes from effective tension accumulated over time. And once your body adapts to that volume and frequency, there's only one way to keep the arms growing. Which takes us to Step 3. Progressive overload. This is the step that separates people whose arms actually transform from the people who stay looking the exact same for years. A lot of people discover Commando pull-ups, do them for a few weeks, then wonder why their progress suddenly stops. But here's the problem. Your body only adapts when the demand increases. If the exercise never becomes harder, your muscles eventually stop responding. That's why progressive overload matters so much. And no, that doesn't only mean adding weight. With Commando pull-ups, overload can come from increasing reps, slowing down the eccentric, or eventually adding external weight. Even making the movement cleaner and stricter increases the tension placed on your arms. And this matters a lot in bodyweight training because most people fall into the trap of endlessly repeating comfortable reps. They get tired, but they're not progressively challenged. And those are two completely different things. Because when tension gradually increases over time, your body has no choice but to respond. And that's when Commando pull-ups become more than just another variation. But if you really want to maximize arm growth from Commando pull-ups, there's one final thing you need to understand. Final step. Train till failure. Now here's the final secret for maximizing arm growth. Most people either never train hard enough, or they take every single set to failure and burn themselves out. But when used strategically, failure becomes one of the most powerful tools for growth. Because once your arms are already fatigued from strict Commando pull-ups, pushing that final set close to failure creates insane tension through the biceps, forearms, and grip. That's the type of stress your body adapts to by building thicker, stronger arms over time. Just use failure as a finisher, not the entire workout. And if you really want to explode your arm growth even further, chin-ups build another level of bicep development most people completely underestimate. Watch this next.